Welcome back to today's video. In the fascinating world of coin collecting, even small everyday coins can sometimes turn out to be extremely valuable. Today, we'll explore the top 6 most valuable United Kingdom 5 new pence coins, focusing on different years, mint varieties, and conditions that can affect their value in the collector market. Many collectors search through old change hoping to discover rare pieces that could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. One such coin that often surprises collectors is the United Kingdom 5 new pence. Introduced during the UK's transition to decimal currency, this coin has several interesting varieties. Let's get started. First up, the United Kingdom 5 new pence 1975 coin. At first glance, this coin may seem like an ordinary piece of pocket change. Millions of people used it in everyday transactions during the 1970s. However, collectors today often search for older decimal coins like this one to see whether they have hidden value. In this video, we will take a closer look at the history, design, rarity, and auction market value of a 1975 5 new pence coin, especially in circulated or even slightly damaged condition. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what to look for if you ever find one of these coins in your collection. The 1975 5 new pence coin was issued during an important period in British monetary history. The United Kingdom introduced decimal currency in 1971, replacing the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence with a simpler decimal structure. The 5 pence coin effectively replaced the old shilling and was designed to be the same size and weight so that people could easily adapt to the new system. During the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, the Royal Mint produced these coins in large quantities to ensure there was enough currency in circulation. In fact, more than 141 million coins were minted in 1975 alone, making it a very common issue at the time. The coins were struck in cupronickel and manufactured primarily at the Royal Mint facility in Llantrisant, Wales. Because of this large mintage, most examples circulated heavily in everyday commerce for many years. One of the most recognizable features of the 1975 5 new pence coin is its classic British design. On the obverse side, the coin displays the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, a symbol of British heritage and continuity. This portrait represents one of the official coin portraits used during her long reign. The reverse side features the beautiful crown thistle design, representing Scotland within the United Kingdom. The words 5 new pence appear along with the date 1975, which helps collectors quickly identify the coin's year of issue. The coin itself has a diameter of about 23.6 millimeters and weighs approximately 5.65 grams, with a milled edge that gives it a distinctive feel. It was struck using a copper-nickel alloy, which provided durability and resistance to corrosion, allowing many examples to survive decades of circulation. When discussing rarity, it is important to understand that the 1975 5 new pence coin is generally not considered rare in circulated condition. Because millions were minted and widely used, many examples still exist today. However, that does not mean collectors ignore this coin entirely. Collectors often search for specific varieties, unusual minting errors, or coins preserved in extremely high grades. Even coins that appear worn, scratched, or slightly damaged can still attract interest if they have unusual features or if they belong to a complete collection of decimal British coins. And the coin collecting community, the condition of a coin plays a major role in its value. A heavily circulated coin may only have minimal value, but the same coin in near-perfect condition could attract higher bids from collectors. This is why many people carefully examine their old coins before selling them. So how much is a 1975 5 new pence coin actually worth today? In most cases, circulated examples are worth roughly 60 cents to about $1.20, depending on their condition and collector demand. These values are based on typical collector market prices for coins in average grades. However, uncirculated examples can sell for slightly higher amounts, especially if they have been graded and preserved in mint condition. Some certified mint state coins have been valued around a few British pounds, which converts to a few US dollars in the collector market. It is also worth noting that rare minting errors or unusual variants can significantly increase the value. In rare cases, collectors may pay much higher prices for coins with striking mistakes or unique characteristics. If you own a 1975 5 new pence coin and want to know whether it might be valuable, here are a few helpful tips. First, always check the coin's condition carefully. Look for clear details in the portrait and the thistle design, as sharper details usually indicate a higher grade. Avoid cleaning the coin. Cleaning can damage the surface and significantly reduce its value in the collector market. Instead, store the coin in a protective holder or coin capsule to preserve its condition. Watch for unusual features such as minting errors, off-center strikes, or unusual metal colors. These rare variations are often the reason some ordinary coins suddenly become valuable at auctions. Finally, if you believe your coin may be rare, consider having it evaluated by a professional coin grading service. In conclusion, the The 1975 5 pence coin from the United Kingdom is a fascinating piece of decimal-era currency history. While it was produced in large numbers and is usually worth only a small amount today, it still holds value for collectors who enjoy preserving historical coins. Whether you find one in a coin jar, a collection, or an old wallet, it is always worth taking a closer look. Even a simple coin like this can tell an important story about Britain's transition to decimal currency and the long reign of Queen Elizabeth II. And who knows, your next coin discovery might turn out to be a rare variety worth much more than expected. Next up, the 1977 5 pence coin. At first glance, this coin might look like ordinary pocket change, especially if it's in dirty or heavily circulated condition. Many people overlook coins like this, thinking they hold little value. However, collectors often search through everyday coins because sometimes even common pieces can hold historical significance or collector interest. In today's video, we will explore the history of the 1977 5 pence coin, its unique features, how rare it actually is, and most importantly, how much it can be worth in today's auction market. Even in worn or dirty condition, to understand the 1977 5 pence coin, we need to go back to the major change in the British monetary system known as decimalisation. In 1971, the United Kingdom moved away from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system and introduced a new decimal currency. During this transition, coins like the 5 pence were introduced to replace older denominations, particularly the shilling. The 5 pence coin of this era was essentially the same size and value as the earlier shilling coin, which allowed people to adapt more easily to the new currency system. The 1977 issue was struck during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II and was produced at the Royal Mint in Llantrisant, Wales. Approximately 24 million coins were minted in 1977, meaning the coin was widely circulated across the United Kingdom. Because of this relatively high production number, the coin was never intended to be rare. However, over time many of these coins were lost, damaged, or removed from circulation, which can still make surviving examples interesting to collectors today. The 1977 5 pence coin has several distinct features that make it recognizable. On the obverse side, the coin displays the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. Surrounding the portrait is the inscription Elizabeth II D times G times Reg times F times D, which stands for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. On the reverse side, the coin features a crown thistle design, representing Scotland, along with the words 5 pence. This design symbolizes unity within the United Kingdom and gives the coin a strong national identity. The coin was made from a copper-nickel alloy, weighs approximately 5.65 grams, and has a diameter of about 23.6 millimeters, with a milled edge. When a coin like this becomes dirty or heavily circulated, the details may appear darker or worn. While this reduces its collector grade, it also tells a story about the coin's long journey through everyday use. When it comes to rarity, the 1977 5 pence coin is generally considered a common circulation coin because millions were produced. However, condition plays a major role in determining value. Coins in pristine mint condition are always more desirable to collectors, while coins that are dirty, scratched, or heavily circulated usually carry lower value. Still, even damaged coins can attract collectors who are building historical sets of British decimal currency. Some collectors also look for unusual features such as striking errors, off-center designs, or other minting mistakes. In rare cases, these types of errors can significantly increase the value of a coin. Another interesting fact is that older versions of the 5 pence coin were much larger than the modern 5p coins used today. Because the design was later reduced in size in 1990, collectors often keep the earlier large coins as part of historical collections. Now let's talk about what many viewers are most interested in: the value. In most cases, a 1977 5 pence coin in circulated or dirty condition is usually worth close to its face value, often less than $1 in the collector's market. Coins in better condition, such as uncirculated examples, may sell for around $3 to $7 at auction, depending on grading and demand. Proof versions, which were specially struck for collectors with a polished finish, can reach around $10 or more in higher grades. Occasionally, online auction listings may show higher asking prices, but actual selling prices tend to stay within these ranges unless the coin has a rare mint error or exceptional condition. If you happen to find a 1977 5 pence coin in your collection or pocket change, there are a few things you should keep in mind. First, avoid cleaning the coin, even if it looks dirty. Cleaning can damage the surface and reduce its collector value. Carefully examine the coin for unusual details such as minting errors or unusual wear patterns. These features can sometimes make an otherwise common coin more interesting to collectors. Store the coin in a protective holder or coin flip to prevent further damage. Even coins that appear ordinary today could become more desirable to collectors in the future as fewer examples remain in circulation. In conclusion, The 1977 United Kingdom 5 new pence coin is a fascinating piece of British decimal currency history. While it is not considered extremely rare due to its large mintage, it still holds interest for collectors who appreciate historical coins from the era of decimalization. A dirty or circulated example may only be worth a small amount today, often around its face value or slightly more, but the coin still represents an important moment in the evolution of the British monetary system. Whether you are a seasoned coin collector or simply someone curious about the coins in your pocket, it is always worth taking a closer look because you never know when a small piece of history might be hiding in plain sight. Next up, the United Kingdom 5 new pence from 1969. At first glance, this coin might look completely ordinary, especially if it is in very bad condition, scratched, worn, or even dirty. Many people would assume such a coin has no real value. But in the world of coin collecting, even damaged coins can sometimes attract attention depending on their rarity, history, and collector demand. In this video, we will explore the history of the 1969 5 new pence, its unique design features, and most importantly, how much this coin can still sell for in the auction market in US dollars, even when it is in poor condition. The 5 new pence coin was introduced in the United Kingdom in 1968 as part of the country's transition to the decimal currency system, which officially began in 1971. Before decimalization, Britain used a complicated system of shillings and pence. The 5 new pence coin was designed to be equal in value to the old 1 shilling coin, making it easier for people to adapt to the new currency. The 1969 5 new pence was one of the early issues in this decimal series and was widely circulated throughout the United Kingdom. Millions of these coins were produced to meet the needs of everyday transactions, which means they were heavily used, and many surviving examples today show significant wear. The 1969 5 new pence coin has several distinctive features that collectors recognize immediately. The coin is made from cupronickel, a metal alloy of copper and nickel, giving it a silver-like appearance. It weighs about 5.65 grams and has a diameter of 23.6 millimeters. On the obverse side, the coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin, along with the inscription Elizabeth II DG Reg FD. The reverse side displays the crowned Scottish thistle, a symbol of Scotland, along with the denomination new pence and the number 5. These design elements remained iconic for several years before later redesigns of the British 5 pence coin. Because the 1969 5 new pence was produced in very large numbers, it is generally not considered a rare coin in normal circulated condition. However, collectors sometimes search for coins from the early decimal years for historical reasons. When a coin is in very bad condition with heavy wear, corrosion, or damage, the collector demand usually decreases significantly. Most collectors prefer coins in fine, very fine, or uncirculated grades. Still, some beginner collectors or bulk coin buyers may purchase heavily worn examples simply to complete a date set or for historical interest. Therefore, while the coin itself is not rare, it still carries a small collectible value. When we look at the auction and collector market, the value of a 1969 United Kingdom 5 new pence in very bad condition is typically quite low. In most cases, such coins sell for approximately 10 cents to $1 US dollars, depending on the exact level of wear and whether a buyer is interested in early decimal coins. Sometimes large mixed coin lots include these pieces, which can slightly increase their resale value when sold together. Only coins in exceptionally high grades or those with rare minting errors tend to reach significantly higher prices. If you happen to find a 1969 5 new pence coin, there are a few tips collectors recommend. First, check the overall condition carefully, because the value can change dramatically depending on the coin's grade. Second, look closely for any minting errors, unusual marks, or off-center strikes, as these can sometimes increase the coin's value. Third, avoid cleaning old coins aggressively because cleaning can reduce collector value. Even a coin in poor condition can still be an interesting piece of British decimal history, especially for new collectors starting their collection. In conclusion, the 1969 United Kingdom 5 new pence is an important part of Britain's early decimal coinage system. While coins in very bad condition are generally not rare and only carry a small market value of around a few cents to about $1, they still represent an interesting historical period in British currency. For collectors, the true excitement often comes from discovering coins with better condition or unusual mint errors that could be worth much more. So before you ignore an old coin, take a closer look. You might just discover a small but fascinating piece of history. Next up, the 1988 United Kingdom 5 pence. At first glance, this coin may look like an ordinary piece of pocket change. However, many collectors and coin enthusiasts are curious about its history, rarity, and how much it could be worth today, especially if it appears in used or circulated condition. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Sometimes a small coin that once bought everyday items can later become a collectible item sought by collectors across the world. In this video, we'll explore the history of the 1988 5-pence coin, its design features, collector demand, and its potential auction value in US dollars. The 5-pence coin is part of the United Kingdom's decimal currency system. It was first introduced in 1968, a few years before the UK officially switched to decimal currency in 1971. This coin replaced the old 1 shilling coin, and interestingly, both coins were originally the same size and value during the transition period. The 1988 5-pence coin belongs to the earlier large-size version of the coin. These large coins circulated widely in the UK during the 1970s and 1980s. However, in 1990 the Royal Mint introduced a smaller 5p coin, and the larger version, including the 1988 coin, was eventually removed from circulation. This historical change makes the 1988 version interesting to collectors today because it represents the final years of the original large 5p design. The 1988 5-pence coin has several recognizable design features that make it unique and easy to identify. On the obverse side, the coin displays the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, representing the monarch who appeared on British coins for decades. On the reverse side, the coin features the crowned Scottish thistle design, which symbolizes Scotland and the United Kingdom's rich cultural heritage. This elegant design was created by designer Christopher Ironside, whose work appears on several UK decimal coins. In terms of physical specifications, the coin is made from cupronickel, a durable alloy commonly used in circulation coins. It weighs approximately 5.65 grams and has a diameter of about 23.6 millimeters, with a milled edge around the rim. Another interesting fact is that the 1988 mintage exceeded 120 million coins, meaning millions of these coins were produced for circulation. Because so many 1988 5-pence coins were produced, the coin is not considered extremely rare in normal circulated condition. Many of them were used heavily in daily transactions throughout the United Kingdom. When collectors evaluate a coin, they look at its condition, also called the coin's grade. A coin in used or worn condition typically has scratches, faded details, or discoloration from years of circulation. While such coins are common, they can still hold interest for beginner collectors or those trying to complete a full year set of British coins. However, certain variations can increase collector interest. For example, coins with minting errors, unusual metal composition, or extremely well-preserved condition can attract more attention at auctions. In rare cases, unusual minting errors on UK coins have sold for hundreds of dollars because collectors love unique mistakes. Now let's talk about the value of the 1988 5-pence coin in today's market. According to coin catalog estimates, the value of this coin generally ranges from about 37 cents to around $3.85 depending on condition. Coins in heavily circulated or damaged condition are usually worth only a small amount, sometimes close to their original face value. Uncirculated coins that were never used in circulation may sell for slightly higher prices, sometimes around £1 or a few dollars, especially if they are graded and preserved well. So if you find a 1988 5-pence coin in used condition, its auction value is usually modest. But remember, the coin collecting market can change over time, and certain rare variations may always surprise collectors. If you are interested in collecting coins like the 1988 5-pence, here are a few helpful tips. First, always check the condition of your coin carefully. Coins with sharp details, minimal scratches, and clean surfaces usually attract higher prices. Second, look closely for minting errors or unusual features, such as incorrect metal, off-center strikes, or design irregularities. These rare variations can dramatically increase the coin's value. Third, store your coins properly. Use coin holders, albums, or protective capsules to prevent scratches and environmental damage. Proper storage can preserve a coin's condition and value for many years. Finally, keep track of auction results and collector marketplaces. Studying real sale prices can help you understand what collectors are willing to pay. To sum up, the 1988 United Kingdom 5-pence coin is an interesting piece of British decimal coinage history. Although millions were produced, it represents one of the last years of the original large-size 5p coins before the design changed in 1990 in used or circulated condition. The coin usually holds a modest value of less than a few dollars, but it remains an enjoyable collectible for numismatists and coin enthusiasts. Its historical connection to the decimalization era and the long reign of Queen Elizabeth II adds charm and significance to this small but meaningful coin. Next up, the United Kingdom 5 new pence 1970. At first glance, this coin may look ordinary, especially if it appears worn, dirty, or heavily circulated. Many people might even ignore it as just another old coin. However, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Even a coin in poor condition can still attract attention if it has historical significance or collector demand. In today's video, we will explore the history of this coin, its unique features, its rarity in damaged condition, and most importantly, how much it might sell for at auctions in US dollars. The United Kingdom 5 new pence 1970 was issued during a very important time in British monetary history. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, the United Kingdom was preparing to transition from the traditional pound system to a new decimal currency system. The 5 new pence coin was introduced in 1968 to gradually replace the old shilling coin before decimalisation officially took place in 1971. This coin was designed to have the same size and value as the earlier shilling so that people could continue using both coins during the transition period. It features the portrait of Elizabeth II on the front, symbolising the monarch of the United Kingdom, while the reverse side displays the Scottish thistle design created by Christopher Ironside. Interestingly, large 5 pence coins like the 1970 version remained in circulation for about 2 decades until they were replaced by smaller 5p coins in 1990, when the original large version was demonetised. Several physical and design characteristics make the United Kingdom 5 new pence 1970 recognisable to collectors. The coin is made from cupronickel, a durable alloy consisting mainly of copper and nickel. It weighs about 5.65 grams and has a diameter of approximately 23.6 millimeters, making it larger than the modern 5 pence coin used today. The obverse of the coin shows the famous portrait of Elizabeth II, wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. Around the portrait appears the Latin inscription that translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen and Defender of the Faith. On the reverse side, the coin features the Scottish thistle with the inscription New Pence. This wording was used during the early years of decimalisation to help the public understand the new currency system. The edge of the coin is milled, meaning it has small ridges around the side. When it comes to rarity, the United Kingdom 5 new pence 1970 is generally considered a common coin because more than 225 million coins were minted in that year. Because of this high mintage, most examples found today, especially those that are dirty, scratched, or heavily circulated, are not considered rare. However, collectors sometimes still purchase these coins for historical collections or to complete a full set of British decimal coins. Coins in damaged or dirty condition often sell for very low prices because collectors prefer coins with minimal wear. Still, there are some situations where a worn coin may gain interest, such as if it has unusual minting errors, unusual toning, or historical significance within a collection. So, how much is a dirty United Kingdom 5 new pence 1970 worth today? In most cases, a circulated example with visible wear or dirt usually sells for only a small amount, often around 20 cents to $1 depending on the condition and the buyer. If the coin is in excellent uncirculated condition, it can sell for around £3, which is roughly $3 to $4 US in the collector's market. However, special versions such as proof coins, rare mint errors, or exceptionally preserved pieces may sell for much higher prices at auctions. Collectors are always willing to pay more for coins that stand out from the typical examples. If you happen to own a United Kingdom 5 new pence 1970, there are several things you should check before assuming its value. First, carefully inspect the coin for unusual features such as double strikes, off-center designs, or other minting errors. These rare characteristics can significantly increase a coin's value. Second, avoid cleaning the coin, even if it appears dirty. Cleaning can damage the surface and reduce the coin's collector value. Many experienced collectors prefer coins in their natural age condition. Finally, if you believe your coin might be valuable, consider showing it to a professional coin dealer or submitting it to a grading service. Certified coins often sell for higher prices because buyers trust their authenticity and condition. In conclusion, the United Kingdom 5 new pence 1970 is an interesting piece of British currency history that represents the transition to the modern decimal system. Although most examples are common and worth only a small amount, the coin remains an important collectible for those interested in British numismatics. Even a dirty or worn coin can still tell a fascinating story about the past. So before you throw away your old coins, take a closer look. You might discover a small piece of history hiding in your pocket. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos about rare and valuable coins from around the world.